Thank you all for joining us in our webinar today. I hope you're all having a great day. I'm Felix Robert, working as the Customer Success Manager for Zoho Commerce, and I help business owners with setting up their online store and making sure our product helps them to increase their customer base and organize their business to simplify complex operations. Please be informed that there will be time for questions at the end of the presentation. I would read out the questions and answer them one at a time. Now, agenda for today is to first talk about Zoho e-commerce ecosystem, and then followed by which we will also see how to create an online store with Zoho Commerce. Before getting into the webinar, let's talk about why do we need an online store. As we all know, there is a seismic shift in customers' way of purchasing products. Most of the customers have started to believe they don't have to be physically present in a store to buy a product or go to a restaurant to eat food when they can order it right from their home. And this trend is not going to decline as it is more convenient to the customers and the buying experience is getting better every day. So why limit yourselves to customers who walk into your store when you can target globally? Creating an online store is not only a source for more traffic and increase in revenue, but it additionally means adapting a new trend and also staying ahead of the competition. Now, that being said, let's get into our today's webinar, keeping in mind what Zoho Commerce has to offer at the end of it all. First, let's talk about Zoho Commerce ecosystem. Now, Zoho Commerce is built on top of Zoho Inventory and Zoho Books. Now, this also means these two products or these three products are tightly integrated. Now, Zoho Commerce is the storefront. This is where users would interact with the products, purchase the products, and this information again is seamlessly transferred over to both Zoho Inventory as well as Zoho Books. Now, Zoho Commerce can be used as a standalone product. You don't need Zoho Inventory and Zoho Books unless and until if you need more features in terms of inventory and accounting. Now, when you're creating a store, you also are creating an inventory section inside your inventory account, and also you are creating an accounting section inside Zoho Books. So at some point, like if you need more inventory features and if you need more accounting features, in that case, all you need to do is access these services like Zoho Inventory and Zoho Books only to see your data already there. It saves you from this hustle of having to integrate multiple services and also having to transfer the data from one service to the other, which all is a lot time consuming. All that can be solved by this particular method. So in the way it works is when you have created a Zoho Commerce store, all the orders, items, refunds, invoice, and even the customer information are transferred over to Zoho Inventory as well. And similarly, when you're using Zoho Inventory, information like bills, sales order, contacts, and so on are passed to Zoho Books. I'm just saying this before we get into building the store, just to keep in mind. So when at some point when you need an inventory solution or when you need an accounting solution, please keep in mind all your information are already available in Zoho Inventory and Zoho Books, which you can use later. Now, let me also brief you about the major features of Zoho Commerce. This is not the entirety of features that we have, but it gives you an idea of what we are going towards. So Zoho Commerce lets you create an online store. It allows you to display all your products, and users can purchase these products and pay for it through the payment gateways that we support. And it also helps you in streamlining your business. It gives you a bird's eye view of what is actually happening with the business. And also it helps you in streamlining and tracking your orders to make sure they're fulfilled properly and on time. Customer experience is one of the most important things that we are going forward towards too. And it also helps you in configuring shipping and taxes, and also it helps you improve your sales in multiple methods, few of which is by using coupon codes, product reviews, and so on. Now that being said, let's see how a store is created using Zoho Commerce, and for which I'm going to access my Commerce account. So here are a few stores that I've created, and I also have a few stores that have been shared with me. So creating a new store, and in order to access commerce, all you have to do is access the link commerce.zoho.com. So currently I'm in my store creation page, where basic information are required, like the store name and so on. I'm selecting an industry. And based on my location or based on my IP address, all my information or a few of the information are already been populated, like the country, state, currency, and so on. This is based on the IP address from which I have accessed this particular site. And if in case if I want to make some changes here, I can very well go ahead and make those changes. But in this case, I'm not going to. Once I have added my information, and when I select choose template, I'm taken to another section where I am given an option to choose a design. This is how my store is going to look like, but once you have chosen a template, it doesn't mean that like you have to stick to that design. We also have a visual editor where you can change it entirely to something that you would like. So here I'm going to choose a template to begin with, a template that suits my requirement. So what is happening is at the background, a store is getting created. A few information are getting transferred to Zoho inventory and books at the same time. So normally this step of the process takes a bit of time when compared to the rest of the steps, because we are creating multiple sections in multiple different places. I think it's done. So first thing that I'm going to see here is the dashboard, the dashboard section. In Zoho Commerce, dashboard has a dual purpose. Initially, when you're creating a store for the first time, dashboard serves a purpose of displaying all the options, or all the gives you a checklist of things that you have to do. Right, so things that we have already done is like we have added the store information, and we also have chosen a template. Now, in order to set up a store, the rest of the things that we need to do are as follows: add a product, publish the site, add shipping, taxes, and also set up payment gateway. So dashboard gives an idea of like what are the things that we have to do, and it gives you a realistic approach of what is the next thing in line that has to be added. Now, once the store is set up, dashboard serves a different purpose entirely. It gives you all the reports, all the important information that you need to know while running a store. It gives you a bird's eye view of what is exactly happening inside the store. Now, that being said, let's follow the steps. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a product. Now, I have stored few information. So I'm giving a title for the dress, and I'm also going to add a unique URL. So this particular URL will take me to this particular dress, and I'm going to add in a selling price at which I'm going to sell the product, and a retail price. And if I have a numbering system for locating a particular product, my stock keeping unit ID or SKU ID, I would enter it there. Now, Zoho Commerce also helps me in tracking my inventory. For an example, if I have 10 of these particular item, and if in case if I have reached a low stock limit, let's say that if I have set up a low stock limit of say 2 items, till the point it reaches 2, I don't have a problem, and once it reaches the low stock limit value, it automatically sends me a notification which would help me in adding those items or refilling the stock that I currently have. So currently, let's say that I have a quantity of 10 and I'm going to set up a low stock limit as just 2. And we can also set up a description and a product detail. So description would just be a one-liner, basic idea of like what is this product, giving a basic description or like how to describe this product. Whereas the product details is an elaborate detail of like different aspects of that particular product. Now, we also support product identifiers like ISBN, which is International Standard Book Number, Universal Product Code, or European Article Number. Based on the product that you're selling, you might be using one of these product identifiers in order to locate or identify a particular product. You can choose which identifier that you use and enter in that information, which would help you in locating these products later or identifying them. Now I can also add images of this product. I'm adding a set of images for this particular product. So I have multiple images for the same product or the same dress. So I can also order these images as follows. So if in case if I want to order change the order, make this image as the first image, I can do so by just dragging and dropping it. We can also add attributes. So in this case, as we are dealing with dress, so we would have an attribute of size. So not all the dresses would be of the same size. I would rather have multiple sizes. So I'm going to give in multiple options. So these are the options that I've added. And for each of these options or the variants, I can also add the quantity of items that I currently have in my inventory. Let's say that I have 10 of each of these variants. Now, and while adding a product, Zoho Commerce also gives me an option to add SEO details like the SEO title, SEO keywords, and description. The information that I add here gets added to the metadata of the site, which again helps Google to read this information and also categorize it accordingly. So when people search for similar keywords, we have a higher chance of getting listed at the top. We also have options to add tags and also add a brand, and we can also set options like, does a product qualify for returns, or currently is it on any discounted sale. Now with the show in store option, only if I select this option, this particular product would be displayed in the store, or if it is something that I'm trying on, I haven't got this product yet, so I can add the product here and choose not to show it. Once I have it in inventory, I can then come in here and then simply select this option to display it to the customers. Right, so I have added a product. And then the next step, so one more thing that we need to see is like adding multiple products at the same time and see how the products are going to look in the store, actual live store. So which we would be doing a little later. For now, let me go through the rest of the steps and then we'll get back to it. So the next thing in the list is publishing the site, or publishing the store that we have created. So when I select publish, these are the options that we get, starting with adding our own domain, or like getting a domain from Commerce, or purchasing a domain, right? So if you don't own a domain yet, the best option is to purchase a new domain, and based on my opinion, or you can also get a temporary domain from us, which would end with zohocommerce.com. It would be an extension. Or you can, if you already have your domain, for example, if your domain is xyz.com, then create a subdomain for yourself where you want the store to be displayed, and simply add in the domain section. And once you select continue, and then we need to make a mapping of your subdomain with the store. Once that is done, when users access your subdomain, they'll be able to see the store from that. So once you have published the site, users would now be able to access the store from that particular website. At the moment, we won't be able to show you exactly how the publish works. Like currently, I don't have a site with which I can map and show you, because like I'm planning on doing this on another webinar. So we have a webinar which focuses on actually showing you how the publish works, not in a theoretical way, rather than showing it by adding an account and then displaying how it works. The same thing is going to be applied for shipping and taxes, like where I think like it would be much more easier and straightforward to understand with an example rather than just theorizing it. So the next step in the process is shipping. So in terms of shipping, what we are going for with shipping is we are not just delivering the item to a customer, but we also need to make sure that the amount or the cost that is associated with shipping is also much less. So in order to get good advantage, or making sure like we are operating at a lower budget, what we need to do is to make sure like we have multiple shipping zones. Each zone would have a different price point, and there are some zones which you won't be able to service because of different laws and because of the distance maybe. So it is up to a owner or a store owner to decide like what are the different zones he is going to service, and just concentrate on that particular zones, in order to make sure that like there is no hiccups at the later end. So what I'm going to do here is like I'm going to create a shipping zone where I'm going to service, and I'm going to give a title for it. Just because I'm operating from India, and I'm just adding a general title which is South Zone. I'm adding in a couple of states from India. Maybe it's added already. And there was a hiccup with one of the state. We may have to look that up. Now the next thing is like I don't just have an option to just add states selected based on the country. I can also restrict the zone that I'm operating based on zip codes. So if in case if I want to narrow the region that I'm going to serve, then I can select the zip code option and then provide the zip codes which I do service. So when a customer is ordering items and once he selects a particular zip code, we can inform the customer whether or not we'll be able to service the particular order. Now once I've added a zone, the next thing in the list is to add a shipping name, select an estimated delivery time, and also the shipping rate. So there can be multiple different types of shipping. So for example, we might have express shipping or 1 day shipping, or we have the regular shipping. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a name for it. So express shipping is, let's say that the delivery time is 1 day, and the shipping rate. So there can be two different types of shipping rate. One is the flat rate, and we have the custom rate. So flat rate, let's say for all the express deliveries, like let's say that I'm going to charge in terms of Indian money 100 rupees, and if in case if I'm going to select custom rate, then I have even more options. Like I can choose to add a rate based on the order value or quantity or the weight. Now if the item that I'm shipping is a bulky item, in that case, like obviously the rates would differ. Based on the rate, I can make those changes. So here different criteria can be applied. Now in this case, I'm going with a flat rate. So if it is going to exceed, I'm going to incur the cost, and if it is less than that, like I'm at a profit. Now I can add multiple shipping rates as well. So we have the express rate, and now let's also add a regular rate. Let's say the delivery time is 3, and then again the flat rate is 40 rupees. That should be a free one as well. Or the regular rate the shipping rate shouldn't be there for it, which is also possible. So we have added our shipping, and then we can also set up our taxes here. So all you have to do is add your from India, we have our GST identification number. Once I've added that, and then I can also decide whether the prices that are displayed are tax inclusive or exclusive, and I can also apply taxes for my shipping rates as well. So here the tax rates have to be added. The way in which it works is like it will give you multiple categories of items and the tax values for each of these categories. Now based on which all your products would have that particular tax associated with it. Now you can also set up a payment gateway. Here I'm just showing you the different payment gateways that are available in India right now. So if in case if I have an account in any of these payment gateways, I can simply set it up. For example, if I select PayPal, it's going to ask for my registered email address, and once I go through the set of procedures that they've given us, I add all my information and make the connection. So once the users, once they purchase a product, they would be sent to the PayPal payment gateway page where they can pay directly to my account. PayPal also helps you supports the refunds and so on. A lot of options are available from different payment gateways for the customers. I guess I've come out to pay back. Now so this gives you an understanding of like the different steps that are to be taken in order to set up the store, starting with store information and template, which are just a couple of very quick steps that you can just breeze through. The rest of the options are like adding products, publishing the store that you have created, adding a shipping, taxes, and payment. The rest of the options that you have from the home page are as follows. So we have the order section where a list of all the orders that you have are listed, and they are segregated as the pending ones, the delivered ones, or the completed ones, and in progress ones. And then we have products again. So once the store is set up, and then dashboard would only have the all the reports, so you won't be seeing those steps again. Now if you know, if in case if you want to make some changes in the product section, and then you can come to the products page in order to make those changes. Here you can also export the products, import new products. So here, if in case if you're adding more than one product at the same time, you can also import it as a CSV file. I currently don't have a sample as such. So currently I don't have a sample, but that's no problem. So if in case if you have all the products in a CSV file, you can simply import it here. Now we also provide you with a sample CSV file. Once you download it, it gives you a idea of how the CSV file should look, and what are the different column headers that are needed, and how the column headers match with different fields to which you are going to send in the data. Now we also have options to categorize different products. So here I haven't added much products yet, but let's take our own scenario. Let's say that I'm creating a clothing store, and that in this case, like we need to categorize it. I might have categories like male section, female section, so all the men in dresses would be in a particular category, and all the women dresses would be in a different category. We can also add collections, so where I can get products from different categories together based on a criteria. So all the dresses, spring dresses, can be added to a single collection and sold at a different price, or can different criteria can be applied, just like the spring collection, and displayed together. Now the settings section gives you all the store settings. So we have the general settings, customized, which is again visual changes to the store can be made from here. We have the store settings, we have configure, which helps you in setting up your domain, helping you connect with social media, and product reviews helps you in getting customer feedbacks and also moderating the same. SEO again has a lot of options there in order to make sure you list at the top of search sites. And we have integration. So in integration, these are the products with which we have a direct integration. So the list is would add up soon, and we would also open up our API in order to connect with other services. But as of now, like, these are the different services we can make an integration with. Reports, there are a lot of reports that are available, which would give you an idea of like how the sales has been, and how's the traffic or the customer traffic, and how many customers do you have, who are your top customers, who are your how's your frequent visitors, and about your payment, abandoned cart. All this information are available here. This information again is going to help you in making wise judgment of how things are supposed to be, and what are the changes that are supposed to be done inside the store in order to make progress with sales. Now we also have site builder, which we haven't seen yet. Now site builder is where we are going to visually design how the store is going to look. So site builder along with visual editor, we are going to design how the store is going to look, and we are going to have a separate webinar in this particular topic. So this is how the current store looks like, or this is the template that we have chosen. Now in order to preview the store, I can select the preview option at the top. So here's how my store looks as of now. There are no collections and there are different pages that have been created. Now each of this page can be rearranged and modified in my own liking. And we also have visual editor, which would help us to customize each and every element which is available inside this particular product page. So we also have the site settings, which would help you in visually designing how the product looks. And all these options are, even though they are a little simple, we would try and cover these while we are doing the webinar for visually editing the store. So in today's webinar, what we did is, like, first we saw why do we need an online store, and also we saw basics of Zoho Commerce. We tried to set up a store. The things that we haven't done so far are like visually create the store. We saw where to do it, but we haven't actually tried the different options that are there. So for which we will have a separate webinar, and then try shipping, taxes, and like with actual account, payment gateways with an actual account, and show you the different options that are there and the complexity that is involved in getting this right. So that again is for another webinar, which I would like to call it as an order to completion webinar. So when an order is received and the different steps that are involved in getting it fulfilled. So all these different stages would be discussed in that particular webinar. And I would also urge you to go into our help documents through the site, which is https://zoho.com/commerce/help to access all our help documents. It has a lot of documents. It's fairly elaborate. And we also have a support team working from Monday to Friday, 24 hours a day. In order to reach them, all you have to do is send an email to support@zohocommerce.com. We also provide you with demos in order to help you with getting the store implemented. This is during the initial phase of your building while building the store. And in order to book a demo, all you have to do is click on the link. After this webinar, I would also send you a message with this link, so you don't have to note it down right now. All you have to do is select this link, which will lead you to a site where you can add in your information and select a slot, and at that particular slot time we would reach you out in order to talk to you and help you with implementing the product. Now that being said, if you have any questions, please add in the questions now. I'll be available for the next 5 to 10 minutes time, and at the end I would read all the questions and answer them one at a time. Thank you all for joining us in our webinar. I really appreciate your patience. See you all at the next webinar. Till then, have a great week ahead.